Welcome to Action Coaching. We're certainly delighted that you joined us on today because we believe that God has a special coaching tip for you. I certainly want to encourage all of you that enjoy Action Coaching to make sure that you reach out to others and let them know about Action Coaching. You can hit subscribe and like and let other people know that these coaching tips will help them also, and we want them to tune in to Action Coaching each and every week. I am grateful for this opportunity to just get time to sit down and share wisdom with people of my generation, the younger generation that is coming along, because I'm here to let you know things will get better as time go on because things improve. But however, the methods are still the same. They just operate differently in each dispensation or each generation, so to speak. And so that's why coaching is necessary. Now, nobody makes it in life without a coach. Each and every one of us need a coach, a mentor, or somebody that can see the potential in us and are willing to help work with us so that potential can come out of us. I know a lot of times coaching and mentoring is hard because you are trying to deal with someone that do not know they got this great potential locked up inside of them. But I can assure you, if you keep working with them, you keep talking to them, you keep showing them things that will allow them to see that they really can do certain things in life and that God have already placed the gift in them. Now, this week on Action Coaching, I'm going to talk about breaking limitations. Yes, breaking limitations. And I want to give you some tips on how you can break limitations because I want you to know there's so many more things for you in life. And not only do I want you to know that locked up in you is the ability to do these things. You just simply don't know it because you refuse to break limitations. Now, I want you to think about it. From the day that we are born in this world, whether it's where you were born or the surroundings or whatever vehicle you go into, when I say that, I'm talking about school and college, or maybe you're just learning on your own, there's always something that try to put limits on what you can really do. And even we ourselves sometimes create a shell around us and say, this is all I can do, and I can't do no more. In other words, you put boundaries around you and you say, I'm not going to break outside of these boundaries because this is where I feel safe. I feel safe in these boundaries I've created around me, and I know that I don't have to venture out into anything else because I feel safe right here in these boundaries. You think about a lot of people have lived their life based on somebody else's interpretation for their life, or they went into careers and tried things that they never did like, because they were too afraid to just really pursue what they felt in their heart because they'd already placed limitations on themselves. And the amazing thing about it is, most of the time the limitations are placed. It's us that do them. Because God has created us in such a way that we don't have no limits. We can go as far as we believe, as far as our talent can take us, As far as we can see into our future, God created us with no limitations. It's us that place the limit on ourselves. And it's amazing how many people you meet every day, how many of us that interact with each other every day. And we come almost with a truckload of limitations. Times you can't even talk to people about doing great things, or building great things, or venturing into something that's unknown. Even though the people you're talking to got the gifts, the talents, and the ability to do it, but it's just locked up inside. It's almost like we keep it so locked up inside. In a sense, we throw away the key. And we have to go through life trying to find that key to unlock our potential that we threw the key away and never, ever got an opportunity to live out the full potential in us. We didn't get a chance to have the joy of breaking the limitations that people put on you or you put on yourself. But I'm here to let you know we are in a new day. And when I say new day, I don't think that days are new because God have created them since the beginning of time. But I do think what I like to sum up is a new day. It's the day you realize that you got more potential in you. You got more things that you can do than you ever have tried in life. That's what I like to call a new day. A new day is when I see myself. Not anybody got to tell me. But when I see myself, you know, I can do this. I can become a doctor. I can become a lawyer. I can become an astronaut. I can become a successful entertainer. I can have a successful business. Oh, a new day is when you see that you can break out of these limitations and begin to be as creative and as powerful as God designed you to be. So let's talk about here in this session about breaking limitations. Now understand, this session ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. You can't blame your mama, your sister and brother, your situation, or your start in life. This is up to you. You got to make the decision that you can break the limitations that all of these things have placed upon you, but it's your time to live out your potential. This is why people need coaches and mentors and somebody to listen to, because all that person is doing is just speaking to your inner self, trying to break through the outer self that you have adopted as your life. But however, you need somebody to speak to the life that's on the inside of you. You need somebody to let you know you're wasting your potential. But however, we want to help you maximize all of your potential. There are more things that you can do. There are more things that you can experience. But you got to break the limitation. I found out this. The strongest jail, the strongest dungeon in the world, the strongest adversity in the world is pretty much the jail, the adversity, the dungeon that you put yourself in because you refuse to break those limitations. But however, here on Action Coaching, we are going to talk about how you can proceed to break those limitations. Now, let's talk about the first part. you got to have faith. Now, faith is you first got to believe that you want to break out, that you want to be free from the limitations. This is not a discussion you go have with somebody else. I found out in life, before some people to move, they need 15 people to assure them that it's all right to move, it's all right to dare to be bold, it's all right to try something new. I remember I was talking to a person one time and they said they wouldn't put something out because they didn't think it was good enough. What they were really saying was they were scared to put it out. They don't know what is good yet. They didn't put it out. I got to stop right there, but I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you.
Tap somebody and say, I'm made for miracles. You know why God allowed things to happen to you? He want to teach you that there are about 5 people got it. He want to teach you that there are. So whatever the devil knock you back with, God said now's the time to show him that he can't keep me there. Y'all ain't talking. Now is the time to let the devil know greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world.
I left off talking about the person that said they were afraid to put something out because they were afraid that it wasn't excellent enough. Now that's their conception of what is excellent and not. They hadn't exposed it to anybody else so that other people can critique it. What you may think is bad may be genius to everybody else. But what they were really saying is, I just want to stay right here in this little cage because I am afraid of what people will say if I really show myself. I understand it. I grew up that way. For some reason, I just assumed that certain things I could not do. I was shy. I didn't want anybody to make fun of me if I really were to be myself. And for so long, I kept myself in this box, not realizing that all the gifts and talents that I have now were always in me. I just was afraid to let them out, to see what they can do, to enjoy the benefits of all the amazing gifts and talents that God has placed in each one of us. God wants us to live an unlimited life. He wants us to explore new adventures. He wants us to move forward. Allow me to interject a little testimony here. Now, when I tell you about this testimony, understand that by no means am I pushing someone to be violent. I'm simply saying that sometimes you have to shove things out the way, and this was just an instance that I had to shove things out the way. When I was growing up, we stayed in a place where we had to walk up the road to catch the bus in order to go to school. Well, at the top of the hill, there was a guy, a short guy. He was smaller than me. He probably was 5'6", something like that. Ultimately, I was 6'1". I was bigger. I was bigger than that time. But every day, when I got near his house, he would threaten that he was going to take my lunch. And he would tell me he's going to beat me up. And if I didn't give him my lunch, it was just something about the loudness in his voice and the way he said it and the way he looked at me with his eyes that I just got all timid and afraid. And I gave him my lunch. Now, I gave him my lunch, and all day long, I am in school, and when it was time to eat, I would go hungry because I had gave him my lunch. All because he just sounded like he could hurt me. He just sounded like if I didn't give him my lunch, it was going to be bad for me. Now, the day came where I finally made up my mind and said, this morning, when I walk up this road, if he asks for my lunch, I am not going to give it to him, regardless of if he beats me up. I'm going down fighting. I'm going to keep my lunch. So as I approached him, all of this fear was in my mind. Maybe you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. If you hit him, he might end up killing you, and all these things. But I decided, well, let me hit first. Well, I did just that. I hit him first, and I knocked him out. Now, to my amazement, some things went through my mind while he was knocked out. First of all, I thought about all of the days I went to school hungry. All of the days I had allowed him to take my lunch. All of the days that this did not have to happen to me. I saw all of that in my mind. And the second thing I saw in my mind was, when he was awakened, guess who was going to be in charge now? Now, I said all of that to say is that life has been bullying you, making you afraid because you don't have any confidence in yourself. That the devil, circumstances, have been taking your lunch, making you go hungry, dreams that you got in you that could fulfill a lot of things in your life, but because somebody else say you cannot make it and you place limits on yourself, you are unwilling to go forward. So I said all of that to say, first thing is, you got to have faith in yourself. Now, what does faith do in yourself? Well, I like to sum it up this way. Faith gives you that passion, that work ethic, that desire to say to yourself, I'm going to go for it this time. And I'm willing to put in the work. I got the desire, and I'm just going to do it. So many times in life, people can't break limits because they want somebody to persuade them to break the limit, when the real answer is you got to decide you're going to break the limit, and then someone can come along to help you experience what you've already decided. How many times have you heard people say, I'm going to get in shape, I'm going to do right by my body, and all while they said that, they still eating, doing the wrong thing, ain't exercising or anything. And they just don't want to hear it when somebody talk to them. But oh, when you have made the decision that you want to do what's best for you, then nobody can stop you then, because you have made that decision. Meaning that you got faith in yourself See, the Bible says faith without works is dead. And you can put so much passion without works is dead. People will say things, but you can only go by what they're willing to do. That's how you know what a person really believes. If you see a person is flowing without limits, then you can understand that now they develop trust in themselves. And that's why you have to have coaches and mentors to work on your brain, to work on you, to help you see that you do have the ability to do that. No, you don't want to be working on something you don't have the ability to do. I mean, you don't want to be working to be an astronaut and you don't have the ability to be an astronaut. But there are some people that are great painters, great writers, great builders, all kinds of things. That's their gift. That's what God has given them, that they can be unlimited in and really break through the boundaries in their life. So the first thing, you got to have faith in you. Trust yourself and your gifts and talents for once in your life and see what you come up with. After all, it's your gift, it's your talent, it's your life, it's your opportunity. Second of all, I want to say, after you believe in yourself, the second thing is, trust me, there are going to be times that you are going to fail. Some people are so paralyzed with failure and fear that they never move. They used to use an expression, I don't know quite what it means, but I'm just going to take it for what I think it means. They used to say, don't be like a deer in headlights. Now, I don't know all that much about deers, and I don't know particularly how they react when the light is on them, the headlights is on them, but I assume that when the headlight is on the deer, it startles them, and they don't move, and they don't try. But I want to let you know that we're not having that. Failure, it's going to be a part of it, but don't be afraid to fail. I like to say this about failure, and my time is gone. Failure helps us to know the things that we don't need to do. And it helps us to realize, to stay focused on our gifts and talents and stay in the areas that we do need to do. But don't be afraid. I'll be right back to talk to you. In this teaching about breath. So I want you to know there is going to be a part 2 to this session. I didn't get it all out. And I know a lot of you are out there saying, wait, don't stop there. Yes, I need this. Talk some more about breaking the limits. Help me to realize my ultimate potential. And guess what? I'm going to have a part 2 to this series. So I want to encourage you to stay tuned to Action Coaching for the second part of this series. However, I got to go today, But I certainly want to encourage you to sit down and support us here at Action Coaching. We need your financial support so that we can continue expanding Action Coaching, making it bigger and better, doing more creative things, because after all, we want to help everybody break limits. We want to help everybody fulfill their potential in life. So certainly we need you to support us as we reach so many. There's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways to give. And I want you to know that we appreciate every one of you that support Action Coaching. I believe that God is going to richly bless you as a result of your financial contribution on today. Some can sow thousands, some can sow hundreds, some can sow 200, some can sow 20, whatever, sow it for the upbuilding of Action Coaching. And if we all do it, we're going to break another limit, we're going to knock down more barriers, and certainly I thank God for you. Well, the Lord bless you. I certainly enjoyed talking to you. And as I do each and every week, I want to encourage you. Share the word with a friend and keep the word in action.